Hello, so today's video is all about DIYs and furniture projects. And this chair right here, I am cleaning it, giving a nice good scrubbing down. And this is actually the first ever piece of fabric that I've ever painted. And I was really nervous how it was going to come out.
I am dead.
You're dramatic. Okay. All right. Sorry, letting the kids in the house. Anyway, so here is the chair. I went through it, I scrubbed it, I had my little handheld vacuum, and I vacuumed the insides, vacuumed all the crevices and everything, so hopefully there shouldn't be any dirt in there. I did look at the bottom, there's these little fuzzy things I need to vacuum off, but my vacuum, my middle... Okay, so here we are on the next project. These are these side tables, and I am painting them blue. This is basically, it's not done, it's like the first coat, and then I need to fix the mistakes, kind of clean it up a little bit. So I'm going to work on that right now, and yeah. I'm using kind of an oil-based paint, which I've never used before, so it's coming out a little wonky, but we'll see how it goes. If I don't decide I don't like the way it looks, then I'll go ahead and just keep it in my house, because I do have an Alice in Wonderland themed living room, and these will work. But yeah, there's that. I also wanted to show you my little plant collection. I am trying to become a plant mom, and these are my little projects. I have these outside and getting some sun today, and yeah, we'll see how these go. I'm kind of introducing some into the blue with the red barn, and we will go ahead and see how that goes. But yeah, this is what I worked on the other night. What do you guys think? So what I was saying before the video cut off is basically my mini handheld vacuum died on me, so I wasn't able to finish vacuuming them. But it's okay. I ended up cutting the fabric out of the bottom anyway because it was just a big hot mess and it really didn't need to be there anyway. So as you can see here, I'm just going ahead and adding the second coat onto the tables. Here is the second coat on. I'm really not sure how I'm feeling about it. I don't know if I like it or if it looks too rough. I don't know, I feel like we'll need to see when it dries. Also, like I said, this oil paint is very sticky and shiny, and I just don't know how I feel about it. I did not realize it was an oil paint when I bought it, and it's a non-refundable because it's an oops paint, but we will see how it goes. I also thought about once it dries, maybe putting some rub and buff on there, kind of giving it some character, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll make a decision after it dries. So yeah, this is the first table. I think this is all done. I think it should be good. I don't think it'll need another coat, but we'll see. And I think I will flip it upside down once it does dry. I will flip it upside down and make sure I didn't miss any spots on the legs. I'll make sure that's all touched up. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to table number 2 and get the coat on there. And hopefully this doesn't take too long because I do got to go ahead and put my toddler down for a nap and start homeschool with my oldest. I did convince my oldest to come outside and join me and enjoy this beautiful day that we are having out here in Oklahoma City. So there's that. All right, let's get to it. So here I am adding the second coat onto the second table. And I believe I got 3 or 4 projects done this week. This was done over about a week's span. I finished the second coat and rub a buff on the 2 blue tables. I washed and painted 2 coats on the purple chair, the fabric chair. That was my very first ever experience doing that, painting any kind of fabric. I also finished a pink shelf that was from a broken chair. And I did a little magazine basket. I painted that and got that done. I think that was everything I did. Anyway, if not, you'll see it all at the end. And I also touched up some paint on a pink table that I had that just needed a little touch up because it got all damaged. Anyway, so this was a couple days later, Wednesday I believe, and I was adding the first coat onto the chair. This was really fun. It was a really fun project. I enjoyed it. I know it's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, but I really liked it. This is the ottoman. Same thing. I gotta figure out what I'm doing with the legs. Yeah, so anyway, so first coat. Tomorrow I will do the second coat on it and then probably paint the legs Hopefully I can get out early enough to get that done so I can paint the legs in the afternoon. Hopefully it's not as windy, but yeah, I'm excited to see how it's going to come out. So it's been very interesting and actually kind of therapeutic painting it. So anyway, let's go ahead and go. Okay, so here we are after the first coat. I just finished doing the first coat, so it's still drying. I'm hoping I have enough paint to do a second coat and the ottoman because it was a clearance. Excuse me, it was like a clearance paint, so I paid like a quarter for it, 50 cents for it, and there was only about maybe a little less than half the gallon. But anyway, so this is the first coat. I will have to paint it tomorrow, and then I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with the legs, how I'm gonna paint the legs. So I gotta think about that. Let's go ahead and check out the ottoman. All right, so I'm back at it. It is I guess technically day 3 of these DIY projects, and we're gonna go ahead and get the second coat on the chair. Let's go ahead and just take a little look at it. I think it's looking pretty good. It is kind of like, it's not very soft, but we'll see how it goes at the end, because I've never done one of these before, but it does look pretty cool. It does have a strong, sorry, very easily distracted. It does have a strong laundry smell to it because it's a fabric softener, and I couldn't find an unscented one at the Dollar Tree. So I might have to sit out here for a few days while it freshens out. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean. Anyway, I can't talk. So keeping an eye on my kids. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to it. I don't know if I'm gonna get to any other furniture projects today because it's already like almost 1 o'clock. I spent the morning working on some social media posts and editing and things like that, and then I also went through some of my smalls to prep for market because next weekend is our first market. So if you are in the Oklahoma City area, definitely come out and check it out. It's at the Red Barn Market from 9 to 4 next Saturday, March 21st. So yeah, definitely stop by, check it out. I'm gonna have a lot of furniture pieces and some smalls. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be like a bunch of great vendors. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to this before I start wasting more time. So if you are new to my channel, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Alyssa, or Allie, as most people call me, and I live in Oklahoma City, and I run 2 vintage booths. I do a lot of DIY projects, a lot of painted furniture and upcycled furniture. I do a lot of thrifting, thrift videos, and small business content as I basically run and operate 2 small businesses. I have a vintage booth at the Red Barn Market in Oklahoma City and a second vintage booth at Hot Mess Customs Boutique in Bethany, Oklahoma. If you're ever in the area, you feel free to stop by and check it out. That would be awesome. If you'd like to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, I am at the Cactus Tulip Boutique. And all of your support just means the world to me. Alright guys, so here we are after the second coat, and I got the legs done. I think I'm going to do some touch up on those later, maybe tomorrow, but it's coming out just like purpley blue. Like the paint I picked was purple, but it's coming out kind of like a bluish purple, but I'm not mad. That's probably the fabric softener that's giving it that tint. But let's go ahead and see what the ottoman looks like. Stupid thing. So this is what the ottoman looks like. It's coming out like a bluish purple, but I kind of like it. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. And then the legs. 1 second, Bubba. I just gotta touch up the legs, which I'll probably do tomorrow, and see if I missed any spots. But yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like. I'm really liking the way it's come out. I don't think I'll need a second coat on the fabric. Okay, my kids are getting hungry and they're ready for lunch, so I gotta hurry up. But yeah, this is what the chair is looking like. Don't forget to do the insides and the bottom of the cushion because I almost forgot. But yeah, I think it's coming out really nice. Like I said, it's a purple blue. I'm really interested to see how it's gonna look when it dries. So yeah, it's probably the fabric softener that's giving it that blue tint. But yeah, hopefully I can finish it up tomorrow and I'll be ready for market next weekend. So here I am working on this broken chair, and what my husband and I were going to do, well, we did, is we made it into a shelf. So I went ahead. I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to cut it when I was painting it or how he was going to cut it. I made my husband do the cutting. So I went ahead and painted it, and then he just kind of cut it in half and attached a board so that it's able to be hung as a shelf. So it's really cool. So you can like put linens or hang clothing or whatever from the bottom railings and then stack something on top on the shelf and it'll attach to the wall. It came out really cool. All right, so far I got the second coat on. I think that'll be the last coat, and then I did paint at the bottom, and then we are actually going to make this into a shelf. My husband's going to help me like saw off the pieces we don't want and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably do that tomorrow or sometime this weekend. So that's that. This is almost done. I went ahead and painted this. I was trying to get like a very shabby chic rustic look. I have a lot of very shabby chic vibe in my booth. So yeah, I think it'd be a cool way to display records or like, you know, books and stuff. So there's that. What did you do with your shoes? You silly goose. Anyway, so there's that. One second, baby. I'm gonna let me go ahead. And here is the chair. One second, my love. I think the cushions are still kind of drying a little bit, but it's pretty good. I'm liking the way it came out. I don't know what happened here. Looks like a small tear, but it's okay. I'll just not charge as much for it. But I'll price accordingly. So yeah, I'm really liking it. It's very purple. Yeah, it's coming out more purple. The longer it dries and sits, it's more purple. And I don't know. I kind of like the contrast of like that brownish, tannish, I don't know what color, pinkish color. I'm not sure. But I kind of like it. It's a nice little contrast. I think it's going to be a very... This is not going to be for everybody. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It is definitely for those who like to stand out or a little quirky. And I'll be honest, if it does not sell, I'm going to keep it because I love it. I love it. The texture's a little weird, but we'll see if it softens up between now and next Saturday. I don't know. What are you guys thinking I should ask for it? Tell me below, comment below. Let me know what you guys think would be the going rate. I'll be honest, I think I have maybe $10 in the whole thing because I got the chair for free. So it's just materials. I also did, it had this awful fuzzy fabric underneath. So I went ahead and just cut it out. Like, we don't need it. It's fine. But yeah, all right, I got to get inside. I got to get these kids fed because they want lunch. This is how this shelf came out. Isn't this amazing that this came from a broken chair? So next time you see something on the side of the road, give it a second chance. Okay, so here I am putting the rub and buff onto the blue tables. In my head originally it was supposed to be just a little bit, but one thing I learned about this is a little bit goes a long way, and also learned that it dries very, very fast. So I kind of messed up and instead of just being like, oh well, I'm just gonna scrap the whole project, I said, I was like, wait, I'm just gonna roll with it and we're just gonna make the best of it. So I ended up making the tables more of a silver and hiding most of the blue, so like they came out more of a silvery look. Honestly, I don't know if I like it or not, but it is what it is, and I'm trying to work with it, and you'll see at the end and you can tell me whether or not you guys like it. But yeah, you know, you live and learn. I'm pretty new to a lot of this stuff, and I never tried it like this before, so yeah, I learned, and I learned a little bit goes a long way, and be quick because it's going to dry fast. So yeah, that was basically what happened and what I'm doing. And then I'm just sitting here watching a little bit of TV as I do this. And I know it's probably thinking I'm crazy that, oh, you just used your bare hands. It washed off real easy. Like off my hands, it came off real easy. I could not get it to come off the furniture easy. All right, so this is how they looked at the end. Like I said, I still really don't know how I feel about them. This was not how I really pictured it going in my head, but it is what it is. Anyways, if you like this kind of content, definitely like, comment, and subscribe. All your support means so much. I do DIYs, vintage, and small business content. So thank you very much. God bless you and have a great day.